fine.
Oh, great. Could I please have your surname?
Sure. It's Dullpots.
Dullpots?
No, Dullpots.
Would you mind spelling that?
Okay. It's D for dare.
D.
A for air.
A.
H for air.
Another A, yes?
Oh, no, sorry. H is in hydrotherapy.
Oh, right. H. Okay.
L for lion.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
L for lion, as in rawr.
Uh-huh.
Then hyphen. Then P for psoriasis.
What?
P for pterodactyl.
Oh, P.
Have you ever come up with random words to spell out your name and you needed phonetic words? Then I've got you covered. Hi, I'm Ayesha Mahendra from Colombo, Sri Lanka, and this is my CS50 final project. So I made my program using C language. The program is called NATO Phone. So I'll first show you how it works, then I'll show you what's under the hood and explain how I implemented my code. Right, so when you press enter, it prompts you for your name. So let's enter a name, Gintoki, then it prints out the NATO phonetic alphabetic words that are associated with the alphabetic characters of the name. For example, G for golf, I for India, N for November, so on and so forth. So you don't have to come up with random words to spell out your name. Okay, so what if you enter a couple of names with spaces? Okay, we can check that out as well. So what happens in this case, it still prints out, so it replaces the space with a blank line. Okay, cool. What happens if you enter a name with non-alphabetic characters? We can check that out as well. Let's say fruit hyphen punch samurai 1 2 3. Okay, so in this case it's gonna still return print out something. It's gonna return phonetic alphabetic words that are associated with the alphabetic characters, but non-alphabetic characters gonna be printed out as themselves. Okay, so I didn't rejected the non-alphabetic characters because I wanted to be at least somewhat inclusive with regard to the names. So what happens if you enter really long names? Just say Neil Armstrong, Cyclone, Jet Armstrong, Cannon, and it's going to reprompt you. It's going to say please enter a name shorter than 40 characters, and it's going to reprompt you for your name. So let's say shorter name Sadhara, and it works well. Okay, cool. But what happens if you enter a blank line? You just forgot to enter your name. Press enter. It's going to reprompt you to say please enter valid name. You enter a bunch of spaces, so we're gonna say please enter valid name. So we'll just go with Kentucky, and then it just works well. Right, so let me show you what's under the hood. So this is my main file. It's called NATO Phone. Other than the standard library and string library, I have included a NATO aux edge, which is the custom library that I made, and I didn't use CS50 library because I wanted to make a challenge for myself. So in the main function, you have dynamically allocating memory to store the name, and then I called two custom functions: get name function that takes the memory address to store the name, and spell out function that also takes a memory location to access a stored string. Then I finally free the allocated memory with the free function, and then return 0 if it successfully runs. Right, let me show you the custom library that I made. I made this custom library because I wanted to keep the main function just by itself. So in the NATO aux library, I have the function declarations for 4 custom functions, and I also have defined max length here. So this is the maximum length. You can change that if you want to. I set it to 41, and I have a bool function that's going to return true or false. It's called is blank, and then I have another bool function is invalid size, then a function called get name, and a function called spell out. Function declarations are here. So let's talk about the get name.c file. I have included the function definitions for get name function, is blank function, and is invalid size function. So if I look at the get name function, so I told you I didn't use the CS50 library, so I made my own version of get string function. So this get name function take a memory location as a parameter, and then it prompts you to enter your name, and it uses fgets function to read the standard input. I use fgets function because I wanted to include spaces as well in the input, and also it can define a maximum amount of length that the user can input. So then it's check whether that input is just valid, whether it's just blank lines or not, and then it's going to check whether the user inputted the correct size of string, whether it's in valid size. If it is not valid size or it's a blank line, it's going to reprompt the user again and again with the do while loop. And with the fgets function, usually it also includes the new line character, so I finally remove that new line character with the CSBN function. So that's the get name function, and in the bool is blank function, you get a string as a parameter. I use a constant char string because I didn't want the function to change the name, and if it's all blank, it's gonna return true. And the bool is invalid size function is gonna check whether the user inputted the correct size of string. All right, in the spellout.c file, I have the function definition for spellout function. So I have defined an alphabet size of 26, and I have an array to store the phonetic alphabetic words corresponding to alphabetic characters. This function can take a memory location for the string, and it's gonna access that memory location and iterate through the string for each character. If that character is an alphabetic character, it's gonna access the array and print out the corresponding phonetic word. If it's not, if it is a space, it's gonna print out a blank line. If it is any other character, it's just gonna print it as itself. Right. Finally, I have a make file because I have multiple C files in here. I use this make file to compile all them together. So I adapted the code given to us in the speller file in the one of the problem sets, and also have included this rm-o code snippet here to remove any out files and make my code space very clean. All right, so that's under the hood very briefly. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and happy coding. Bye bye.